Members of the House.
This is my friend Savi.
Former NFL player Dave Pear, who is now paralyzed, said you can't take the violence out of the game and that's okay, but because it wouldn't be football without the violence.
Hey, I'm Koita.
Are you ruling the majority of contact sports by what just one man said?
No, there are many other players who feel the same way.
I'm just so proud of her that she's going on this show.
All the fouls and restrictions implemented become obsolete in games such as rugby and hockey, where the matches are riddled with disqualification. Referees even allow these players to fight for a few minutes without even intervening for the entertainment. And often they go to the penalty box with blood gushing from their face.
And I call her Rara. It's not true. Okay, fine. Anyways.
You showed me pictures and you said mauling before. Like, isn't that like fabrication by media? That's not in the game, right? It's like fabrication by the media. See here, maul. Maul is like injure bad or beating. So they say Trinity Maul Royal to win Bradby. So that actually didn't happen. It's just fabrication by media, right?
I didn't say maul, and this is not the media. This is
before that you just said maul.
I didn't. And
she's so opinionated. She will always start an argument with me no matter what I say. So I usually just watch what I say.
60% of violence is street violence, and sociologists and physiologists say these youngsters, they step into the streets in search of acceptance, money and love. Through boxing, it is evident that these youngsters have gained acceptance and built a livelihood. So is this promoting violence? No. In fact, it is teaching positive traits such as cooperation, leadership and integrity. Mike Tyson. In 1990 he said, I want to kill this guy, and he bit a man's ear off. But did you know, by age 13 he had been arrested 38 times, and it was at a juvenile detention center that he was taught boxing.
Are you seriously saying that a sport can be played without violence when such incidences occur on field and off?
One second, I'm sure I'll make it clear to you by the end of this. He said in the 2005 conference, I just don't have the guts for it anymore. I don't want to disgrace the sport. This is a great sport. It can take men from humble beginnings and have them rub shoulders with royalty. And that man who said, I want to kill that guy, he said, I don't even feel like killing insects anymore. He said, I ain't the same person I was when I bit that man's ear off. Now this can take men from violent past up to very, gentlemen. It makes people gentlemen, yes?
This is a very pretty story that you're saying. In an ideal world, how many of the violence that happens on the streets because of these games, how many of the stories are the reason what you're saying now?
Actually, as I said before, 60% of violence was in street violence.
So we are agreeing that these acts of aggression happen both on field and off field.
No, I'm saying contact sports, they're helping people put out their emotions in a controlled way. Now that is not violence.
This is Roma, and she's one of my really good friends. She's really good at her studies and she plays a lot of sports, and yeah, I think she'll do really well.
Excessive violence in professional contact sport among youth today is increasing at an alarming rate. And that's why we as the proposition is here to tell everyone out there, think twice before you get involved in a contact sport.
This is Judy, that's Assassin's Crews.
So, are you saying to abolish contact sports? That is not what I'm saying. I am saying we need to be aware of violence that is already involved in the contact sport. Human beings' reactions, emotions do not change with the slap of a finger.
Roma's rapid fire. We had a break. We had a nice break. We all got together and we were like, okay, this is our plan. We're going to go there. We're going to be cool. We're going to be collected. We're going to ask a series of questions. Roma goes there. I don't agree with you, man.
It goes out to the outside the arena, and obviously aggression is sent out.
Rodney and I are standing there going, what are you doing? And then I'm just sitting there like, oh God, I don't know. Interesting.
We hope we won't make any mistakes like that this time.
Yeah. Don't you know that players are much more disciplined in a contact sport? They are taught for so many years to control. I'll talk about the players' code of behavior. They have to play by the rules and control their temper. There is still violence involved in the sport. When spectators watch a violent game such as rugby or football, they tend to be influenced by it, as I was stating before. So how does it promote violence? Sandy Lyle said, it is not whether you win or lose, but whether I win or lose. I would like to end
by a quote put forward by George Orwell. He stated, "Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up with hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasures in witnessing violence."
Yeah, I really enjoy getting to know the mission.
Contact sports does not promote violence among youth. Contact sports help us meet different people from different nations, from different castes, from different ethnic groups. And this helps us to coexist and promote our bonds with them, and hence promote our cultural relationships and thus break cultural barriers. Yes.
Promote and meet new people through violence involved in contact sports.
I did not use the term violence.
Contact sports involves violence.
We are saying that it does not, so please listen to what I'm saying. Quoting from the book called Rise and Walk, written by Dennis Bird. He was a former American football player, and he was left paralyzed when he was knocked down by a friend opponent. And then the opponent came and forgave, and then the opponent came and apologized, and he forgave. Now, they forgave each other.
We are talking about a majority and not just one incident.
But that happens if they are disciplined, and if they are like true players, they would never disgrace their sport. So then tell me, what exactly promoted that bond between these two people? It was the contact sport they engaged in. So if the contact sport helped reduce cultural barriers, how can you still say that it promotes violence when it obviously did something good to the society?
The mind of a human being doesn't work where you go for a game, you're angry, violent actions happen, you walk out of the arena, and the violence is completely forgotten and the anger is gone. It doesn't happen like that.
Okay, so you are playing by the rules. Okay, so violent actions happen when you're like too much angry, as you state. So then you break the rules. That's why you have that's why these players are disqualified. And they have they have coaches and referees, and so many people are watching them, like judges. And then they can disqualify the person. That's why you have fouls. And if you violate a rule, definitely out of the game. End of story. Goodbye.
Peace? Yeah, peace. Okay.
You asked us in your before speech that to ask true sportsmen. Well, we have asked true sportsmen. We have done our research.
The practice sessions,
they were really fun. They were like fun, we fought with each other. And it is signed by 35 professional rugby players in the Candy Sports Club. And it is signed by the Candy Sports Club coach, Jordan Taylor. And he says, each one of these players and myself are convinced that rugby as a contact sport do not promote violence on or off the field. Now, if they think it, how can you say it? Please look at it.
Today, most sports coaches promote violence. Is this not enough for the opposition to believe that rugby does promote violence and rugby is indeed a contact sport?
But look at this. It says Trinity Mall Royal to win Bradby. Now, Mall, the word Mall, oh my goodness, look at it. Injure badly by beating. They have fabricated, the media has fabricated. They have put in the wrong impression of the contact sport.
There are restrictions and rules to reduce the violence that happens. The reason that there are these rules is because the sport is violent. Hence, it promotes violence.
Karate is one of the most disciplined contact sport in the world. It is actually a meditation which helps to concentrate and develop spiritually too.
Does that mean that the mass media is definitely promoting violence?
So, you're talking about imitative response. So, why can't the audience and everybody else imitate the, good qualities? Why can't they just go and kick a ball?
The age group doesn't matter.
We were all fighting, arguing.
It was
really
calling
fun,
people other names.
Yeah.
The youth will imitate what they see as when they see the sporting personalities whom they idolize. They will imitate them.
In the first speaker's speech, she said accidentally. Accidents happen, yes, but it wasn't done intentionally. Accidents happen. It's natural. Everybody makes accidents.
All I can say is, keep it up. Good luck, BSC. Do your best, and we are going to win it. We won!
Hillwood College Candy walks away victorious in today's debate and earns a bid in the second round of this competition.
I am a global ambassador for human rights.
Whether or not boycotting the Olympic Games for human rights concerns is justifiable. We have with us a proposition, DSN Anayaka College, Colombo. And our opposition for today is Ramanathan Hindu Ladies College.
So, we are Remedians!
My name is Sulaiman Ramiz. I'm a global ambassador for human rights, representing universal human rights. We as Side Proposition would like to lay out the definitions. We believe that boycotting is to engage in a public refusal and as an expression of disapproval. Furthermore, we understand that Olympics is the modern revival of ancient games held once in 4 years in a selected country. Finally, we understand that justifiable is able to be shown as reasonable or acceptable. We need to understand the context of this debate. We realize that we are talking about a situation where countries have already boycotted the Olympics. We are not talking about whether or not countries are going to boycott the Olympics. Now, first, we must clearly realize that the United Nations and the international community have clearly failed their duty in protecting human rights because they have not combated the violations of human rights effectively.
Hello everyone, my name is Sohana Sodipragasam.
Faster, higher, braver is the motto of Olympic Games.
We were very interesting and we were enjoying very well.
Every country has many problems, but why do we take Olympics as a platform to learn a lesson to other countries?
It's a quite interesting experience we got.
Olympic is also a binding force, international understanding, and promotes world peace. It teaches people to be tolerant of other culture, religion, and respect them, thereby promotes world peace.
Our competitors were they were doing very nice, and normally even though we were losing, we felt a little bit sad.
I don't think countries should boycott the Olympic Games by keeping their athletes from competing. Let them find other ways to express the outrage.
We will be doing our best next time.
Sports itself is a human right, particularly for the youth, since it is vital for their health, well-being, as well as for their progress.
Hey guys, I'm Haritha. I'm the second speaker of our debating team.
I'm Haritha Jayasinghe, and I am a global ambassador for human rights.
There were a few faults with the last debate. We did not have enough time to prepare.
Olympics is the greatest platform to raise awareness, the greatest platform to make sure that the world knows what's going on, because the Olympic is the greatest sporting event in the history of mankind.
We did our best, and we most certainly will be doing way better this time.
There are 4.7 billion people watched the Olympics in 2008. That is 70% of the world population. That is what makes it an ideal platform to raise awareness. These sportsmen, they are just not sportsmen. They are not athletes who just go and compete in a sporting event. They are ambassadors. They represent their country, and they represent the human rights of the people.
Whoever's going to be debating against us has better be watching out this time.
The opposition spoke about the athletes' right to play. But what comes first, ladies and gentlemen? The right to live of the people who are being killed in countries such as Syria.
Olympic is a time to bring people of differences together from different countries and continents, race and religion, nationalities and tradition, cultures and communities. By boycotting the Olympics, a problem cannot be solved. It may increase the disagreement between the host country and the boycott country. When Jimmy Carter, the president of USA, boycotted the Moscow Olympics over the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1980, nothing was solved.